Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-2025 NTFL TIO season here live at Tracy Village in Larrakia Country. We're here for the big clash today between the Tiwi Bombers and the Wanderers. An excellent game coming up on a fantastic ground. It's a real suburban ground of footy, and my partner today in commentary is Stu Davis. G'day, Stu.
G'day, Mark. How are you going?
Very good, mate. Happy New Year to yourself and everyone on the stream.
Yes, and you. It's looking forward to this game. It's a really important one for both sides. They currently sit 5th and 6th on the ladder, and really a last chance for Wanderers to stay in touch with a chance to play finals. If they win today, they're within a game and a half of Tiwi and St Mary's, as it turns out. But a win to Tiwi Bombers today, and they could potentially be as high as equal second with Nightcliff after tomorrow's game, where Waratah, who came into the round in second place, play against the top side Southern District. So really interesting round of football. We've got first playing second, third played fourth last night. 5th and 6th here, and 7th and 9th in the other game. So it's just the way it's panned out. It's a fantastic round, really interesting.
I think AFL NT will take the credit for that, because I think they knew that was how it was going to be. So they scheduled those games to be the first game after the break coming in. And the round one clash, of course, between these sides last time saw a big win to Tiwi, but things I think have changed since those days, and Tiwi have gone on from strength to strength, and Wanderers they have improved. They just a kick out of it last week, so they would draw down there. So it was they're obviously on a rebuilding phase, but this game could go any way. I agree with you. Yeah,
that's right, and a couple of big ins for both sides. For Wanderers, Billy Crofts and Austin Smith come back in, really important movers there. Right. But for Tiwi, they've got 3 players coming in from into the side that went out last week that all got AFL experience in Matthew Parker, Tom Phillips for his first game, played 115 games with Collingwood and Hawthorn, and Marlon Pickett, of course, comes back into the side. So they're pretty handy inclusions for Tiwi as well.
I thought last time I saw Tiwi played, I thought Marlon Pickett was probably the difference between the two sides. He went down down back, picked up Kohler against St Mary's, and pretty much that was the match-winning move on the part of the coach. So those players are so important. And Tom Phillips, 150 games, I think he played in AFL.
115, I think. But
it's massive.
That's right. You don't play that many games without having talent and a good attitude to the game. So he's a massive inclusion for Tiwi. And
a big game that goes to St Mary's will be looking at this game also, because if Tiwi actually win this one, that'll put them down probably just outside the 5. So it's an interesting after that result last night with Nightcliff doing the business down there. It's really tight this end of the season as we get towards the finals.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking off air that unheard of that St Mary's have lost 4 games in a row, and we're scratching our heads trying to think if it's ever happened before. But
don't know. We'd have to check the history.
Uncharted territory, I think.
The great Peter Atkins will know that. We'll have to ask him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Michael Barford would probably know as well.
Oh, Michael, he knows everything, mate. Tell him, he'll ask you, he'll tell you.
But anyway, we're here ready for the start. It's Wanderers kicking to the right of screen, Tiwi kicking to the left, and we're underway as Cox and Monagatti do battle in the ruck contest. It slips out the back, and Wanderers first hand on the ball. They work it through the hands. Sinclair just a fumble there as they look about to break, but picked up by Monagatti. He kicks on the left forward. It's a well-directed kick, well marked. Kim Cantilla wastes no time at all, takes the mark, plays on straight away, and there's a goal inside the first 30 seconds of play here to Tiwi, and Kim Cantilla just backed himself, didn't he? Took the mark and ran around and played on.
Oh, that's magic sort of footy that Cantilla can play. In fact, that's how Tiwi have built their side over this year, is that ability to sort of run and carry and kick the ball really well. And the great part about that is it's exciting as a supporter to watch, but it also gives Tiwi that first sniff of the goals, and it makes a big difference to the way you feel psychologically as you're going on a hot afternoon.
Yeah, terrific effort by the big fella Jack Monagatti as well. He followed up his ruck work and he delivered the pass to Cantilla on the left. So, terrific start for Tiwi.
Big Jack Monagatti's been doing really well this year. Every time I've seen him play, he's been at least competitive, if not won it. So, yeah.
Living in Nhulunbuy these days, making the trip over, but it's Parker this time for Tiwi with the clearance down towards half forward. Good work by Totem off half back to effect the spoil and then give the hand pass out to Charles. Charles goes short and they go inboard. Sinclair, no problem this time, takes the mark. Had a terrific game last week for Wanderers. Was instrumental in that comeback draw that they had against Palmerston Magpies. But he's kicked just off target a bit there and bounced over the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. So,
and early signs of Matt Parker doing what he does in that middle, just dominating the clearances, and that's been the driving force so far in this match.
Yeah, he's been terrific for most of the season. So that boundary throwing just off target a bit. I think we're going to have another go at that. Just got a bit of a swing to it in the air. So
interesting afternoon. It's really humid, not quite as hot as it has been, but the humidity's really high, so the player comfort will be pretty tight. They'll have to keep the fluids up and keep the rotations going.
That's right. Not much chance of rain, I don't think.
No.
Came to the ground there. Went through Piercy's hands. The hand pass out from Charles gives Wanderers the chance again. Delivery into half forward, but Marlon Pickett standing tall. He's given away the free kick though, so Wanderers a chance. Maraka goes short to Sinclair inside 50, and Wanderers with their first chance to threaten the goals in this match.
I think he's going to load up. He was looking for a shorter option, but there wasn't one available, so he's going to take that shot, maybe 56 metres out on the slightest of angles.
Jack Sinclair, been a really good inclusion for Wanderers this season. It's been consistent ball winner. Kicks on the left towards goal and just hung that one out to the left. And their first score on the board, but it's a behind only as Braden McLean quickly brings the ball back into play to the outer side and finds Kurt Dunn in the back pocket. Looks like he's going to switch back inboard looking for Hams. That's a bit far out in front of him, but no problem. He's got plenty of time and space, and he goes short to Blackney Noter in the pocket. So happy to just chip it around, and Kurt Dunn has followed up. And going back to Hams again. So
they're going to keep switching it around. I think they're looking for an option to go wide, which they've found there is that
Bedford, that is, Bedford,
yeah,
out on the lead, and he's got Blackney Noter in the corridor. So they've had about 12 possessions here and gone about 20 metres now. It's opened up from a bit as Hams has a bounce, goes the short option on the bounce to Parker. He picks it up nicely on the half volley, but just gets caught in the tackle as he tries to break free. They're still happy to share it around, and from the punch, Braden McLean comes in, gets an underground hand pass, but Carlson Cantilla out to Parker now, and Parker drives it in, and that's a good pass.
Well then, yeah, just did the right thing then.
Thompson takes the mark. He plays on quickly with the hand pass to Braden McLean. McLean goes high towards centre half forward, punched away from behind as at ground level, just struggling to take possession at the moment, but it slips out here to Bedford, who's got an option out wide, misses the target there, but still a chance as Turner chases it but can't get to the ball before it bounces over the boundary line. So plenty of possession in that build up from Tiwi, but in the end just a bit of sloppy disposal, and they've lost it on the other side.
You can see Patrick Bowden's influence on this side. They do play that run hard ball all the time, the havoc ball if you like, the chaos ball forward. They've just got to be a little bit careful with some of that, because the clearances are reasonably easy to get if you're not 100% right with the kick.
So Monagatti got his hand to that one in the contest. Sinclair tries to kick off the ground, but Thompson, some clever work in close, gives the hand pass to Bedford. He runs around the player in front of him, kicks long towards goal. Now it's going right to the line, and I think it's made its way over the line.
Fantastic kick, and that's a real Rovers goal, isn't it? You just front and centre, grab the ball on the run, in you go, and a great kick for goal. And Tiwi looking dangerous early with a couple of goals up, 2 goals straight to 1 point to the Wanderers. So an interesting start. I think Wanderers just need to make sure that they're playing man on man a bit here. They're just they're protecting grass rather than potatoes, and I think one of the things they can do is tighten up just a little bit on those the pickups there. Yeah,
not easy against Tiwi, of course. No. They've got plenty of pace about them, and they're prepared to take the game on. So.
And if you kick goal side of a player who's running forward, that makes them look even quicker. So that's it's a huge thing. I know a couple of times I've chased a player like that. It's just a hard run, isn't it, to catch him up.
So from the restart, this time it's Big Broadbent doing the ruck work for Tiwi, and ball's caught in underneath as Blake Purantatameri lays the tackle.
Got a couple of big players playing ruck, haven't they? With the two
they have.
Broadbent.
So from that ruck contest, Maraka gets the kick out, and going back with the flight of the ball, nicely marked by Phillips for his first touch in NTFL football. He chips out to McLean at half back, who goes short again, and he finds Purantatameri right in front of us.
Had a good year this year, hasn't he? He's been a consistent player.
So
Viking left foot
long down towards half.
what a
Oh,
mark.
a huge leap, and terrific mark taken by Dwayne Keranua. And now drills a pass in forward, and the pass is perfect as well. Just got over the hands of the Wanderers defence.
That's definitely a contender for Mark of the Year, if not the Mark of the Year. That one, I've called it early.
Mark, it'd be great to see it again, but might have to go home and watch the replay.
Can't say there's no screen here to watch the replay, but it was a fabulous mark.
Yeah. Thaddeus Port Jimmy it is, with the mark. He's straight out in front, and this is looking dangerous for Wanderers in the build-up as Port Jimmy just chips at goal. No problem whatsoever over the goal umpire's hat.
Great
and
play.
A third goal on the board for Tiwi. Was great play.
And he gets rewarded with a run off the ground and have a sit down, which always happens at NTFL. Right, you can have a rest now, son. But that was fabulous, and it was out of nowhere. He really didn't have a right to be that high up, and he's not that tall. He just he had a magic leap. It was
exactly
fantastic.
Right, and then straight to the ground, and he was off and running. Didn't want to celebrate it at all, except by delivering a perfect pass into the forward half.
Lowered his eyes, picked out the player, and a fantastic passage of play from Tiwi. And that's the sort of excitement that we're looking forward to Tiwi bringing to the finals. I'm sure they're going to make the finals this year, and it'll be an exciting time with those guys playing.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it at this stage, isn't it? They're really well positioned early after the Christmas break, because Parker, again, dangerous in the middle, just gets away from his Wanderers' opponents and runs straight up the middle of the ground with 3 bounces now. Gets to half forward, tumbles a kick down towards the top of the goal square, pressures on as Wanderers try to clear it out of the danger area, but just can't get a handle on the ball as it's picked up now by Anthony Munkara. He gets pushed over, swings around on the right, but good defensive work. And Taylor smothered and then hand pass, but his hand pass was chopped off as well, and Tiwi with another chance with a short pass out close to the boundary line on that outer side of the ground. But there's a scramble of players over the top as it spills out now. Thompson falls into his hands. He goes the check side from deep in that pocket.
Just missed.
And just missed to the right-hand side.
And an interesting article by Nathaniel Chambers today in the NT News all about Anthony Munkara. Had a bit of a read of that one. He certainly has had a fantastic season, and Nathaniel's one of our better journalists with the NT News.
Yes, Anthony Munkara just has magic moments that really influence games. So it's Wanderers bringing out of defence, but just too much on that one.
If you ever look at the line-to-line setups with Tiwi, they have got a fair few stars in there that they're really going to give everybody a shake. And a few of the sides are looking over their shoulders, those top 2 or 3 sides, saying, we've got to watch these guys. They are a brilliant team when they get going.
That's right. So Broadbent and Fuller doing the ruck work, just spills forward. As Bate comes in, he got some heavy contact from Blackney Noda, and the ball spilled away and over the boundary line for another throw-in.
And Wanderers have just got to try and get their hands on the footy a bit. They've had hardly any possession, if any, really out of this game so far. So they just need to get a bit of ball, keep a bit of possession, go a bit short, just try a few different options to try and hang on to the footy a bit.
Free kick here around that ruck contest. In fact, it's in the ruck contest, and it's going to Broadbent.
Broadbent's looking forward now, looking for a runner, but I think he's going to have to go long.
So he does kick long inside forward 50. Matthew Motlop just got pushed under the contest as the ball spills forward. And
not too many ruckmen like to kick it long, mate, do they? They like to lay it off wherever they can.
Thompson gets a hand pass out, but straight into the hands of Mitch Taylor. But following up, Port Jimmy again gets tackled, gets the ball out. There's a free kick on the whistle for incorrect disposal there. Is just chipped out wide by Charles for Wanderers, and they bring it around the outer side of the ground where Brenton Motlop out in front just wasn't able to hold on to the mark and spilled over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Just having a look around the ground here at Wanderers, they're going to have to sort of lift their game a bit here. They've a couple of hands on hips looking down. It's really early in the game, and they've got a couple against them, but they just need to be focused on getting a couple of quick ones, or at least keeping possession of the footy, getting some come off.
Cox up early in the ruck contest, but and then followed up and did his own roving, got the kick forward to half forward, but there's plenty of Tiwi jumpers around there as they work it between themselves, and McLean
dangerous kick.
Just switched on the call, I think, and found Hams out wide here to Dwayne Keranua, who's got a paddock of space, and he's off and running now with a couple of bounces down this near side wing. Just lost control of the ball there. Now he's run himself into a bit of trouble, and some strong body work allows O'Connell to come in, but he's lost control of the ball as well. Eventually it lands with Dunn, and Dunn kicks long inside forward 50. Another terrific mark coming in from the side, and this time I think it's Kim Cantilla, the captain for today. He's taken a nice contested mark, and obviously, of course, he was the first goal scorer of the game as well, so looks like he's within range here and going back for the set shot this time. So we're 12 minutes gone, first quarter. Kim Cantilla with the set shot.
Shouldn't be any danger here. He's well positioned, great kick of the footy, and lining up beautifully.
Kick on the way. Yeah, he's allowed for that little bit of breeze perfectly as well. So judged it perfectly and through for another Tiwi goal, and the margin starting to open up in the middle stages of this first quarter. And
Tiwi with 4 goals won to 1 point, so they've actually been very, very direct and clever with the footy, and disposal's been terrific. It's it's that sort of football that you get an early break and it's very difficult to come back. If they get a 6-goal lead going into quarter time, it's a tough gig from there, particularly with this Tiwi side that are very so quick.
Yeah, that's right. And Wanderers, we talked about a couple of important ins for them, but there's still a couple of players missing that are crucial in Cody Leggett and Jack Truan out this week. I'm not sure what the story is with him, but he's their leading goal kicker. Yeah. So that's not going to help their cause. And of course, they have a ruckman, Big Max Johnson, who plays occasionally, but he hasn't been back since Christmas so far. And the ruck, as you mentioned, we've got a couple of tall, talented ruckmen that are going to make it hard for Wanderers around those contests.
And they get another clearance here, and I think Matty Parker's just having a field day in there, although that's not him at the moment, but he's just running much Mark really doing what he needs to do.
So free kick coming back here to one of those ruckmen, Jack Monagatti. And
he played as a midfielder there, Jack, so it was interesting. They had the ruckman and he played 2 ruckmen in the middle.
So he kicks long down towards half forward. Mitch Taylor comes in from behind, got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark. It spills in front as they're worried about the pace of Tiwi, worried about checking the body, as I think that's a Wanderers free kick for trying to bounce the ball as the tackle was made. Mitch Taylor brings it away, and they've got it up to the middle of the ground. Here's
where they fall down. They're just going to get it past this centre line and have a chance here.
So they've got a spare in the middle, but again, the fumble of the ball has allowed Tiwi to apply the pressure as it comes through. And a bit of volleyball there. Terrific work as Thompson goes the short option, and he's found Anthony Mankara. I think you'll find
exciting play, Stu. That's just
right.
The sort of stuff that gets the supporters involved. They're pretty big turnout for the Tiwi supporters here, just to our left, and they're making plenty of noise involved with the game.
So just, some instinctive stuff, wasn't it? And lands in the hands of Mankara, who we know can work magic with the football. Doesn't need to work too much magic on this occasion. It's a straightforward set shot, you would think. Comes in now, kick on the way. Goal umpire's making a bit of ground, and that one's missed to the right-hand side. So
commentator's curse, that one. Yeah, definitely. But it was a definitely gettable side goal, but once again, Wanderers have not got their hands on the footy apart from a kick out. And that midfield just then, it was they just didn't kick it properly. That was one of the issues. They had the right idea to get the switch.
Yep.
They're going again here though. They've got a chance to get through, but it looks like the ball's
just misses again.
Yeah.
Which allows Cantilla to come in, but he loses the footy. It comes back into his hands now. Finds himself in a bit of space, kicks towards goal. That one's not going to come back, but a big leap from Anthony Mankara at the back, and recovers at ground level. He's kicked it straight into the legs of Thompson on the goal line, and Wanderers are able to force it through for a rush behind.
I thought it was on the 2 hands. I was going to say that was a bit of amazing footy. Mankara's just Cantilla just having a field day down there.
So Taylor brings it again, in again, outer side of the ground.
They've got to try something different here, Wanderers. They keep going down the same wing. They've got to try and get it through the middle here.
Short pass in, finds Joel Cabillo at half-back.
Got a player on here on the wing, if they can get it to him.
Cabillo tries to play on, but gets caught with the ball, and he'll be penalised. It was tried to take on Parker. He's allowed to pick up the ball and play on.
Just walked off him, didn't he?
Gets the hand pass off to Munkara, who drills it into the top of the goal square, but that one's chopped off by Horrigan for Wanderers, and they look to rebuild around this near side of the ground. Marcus Totham in a bit of space here, goes for a run and has had 3 bounces now, and now delivers along the wing here. It was Ben Charles out on the lead, and I think the boundary line was in his friend there, because he had 4 Tiwi opponents around him and no Wanderers support. So
just the Wanderers forwards are just walking back to position instead of running, so they've got to be switched on a bit down there.
So the boundary throw in. Good work by Monagatti, used his strength, but Sinclair at ground level bangs it onto the left boot.
2 on 1, 3 on 1.
Over the top of the pack of players there, but Michael Dunn got the best of it, got the hand pass out to McLean. McLean running around the outer side of the ground, has a bounce and then kicks long to the wing, but Cabillo's there, but just lost his footing near the boundary line, and that beats him over the line. It'll be a throw in once again.
Yes, it's a bit of a scrappy game at the moment. But one thing that the Wanderers can do is run a bit harder down that forward line. They were just walking down when the ball's coming their way. They've got to run hard. You've got to try and outrun these guys, because they're going to run off if they can. There were two or three to each player there.
So Maraka reads it off the ruckman's hands and kicks forward, and a nice mark taken by Wilkes. Wilkes goes the short option to Sinclair. Sinclair on the left goes long towards goal. It's going all the way. Might have gone through, but Ben Charles on the line took the option to try and mark the ball and spilt it, unfortunately for Wanderers, and went through for a behind. So Tiwi now building around the near side of the ground. Some strong physical contest by Austin Smith there. Bedford gives back to McLean. McLean in a bit of trouble, but that tackle's just slipped high by Kaylee Roberts. And McLean will take that free kick. Just chips it inboard to Hams, as he often does. He looked laterally to the outer side of the ground, hasn't got a lot to go to, and now Pickett gives him a lead on the short option on the near side. So Pickett takes that mark, looking for a switch option, goes into the corridor, and that pass is good, and finds his teammate Nathaniel Cooper. He's played on now and kicks into the player on the mark. Wasn't really decisive on playing on. The hand pass comes to Wilkes. He gives it up, hoping that Smith can run onto it. He does, gets the hand pass back as he's tackled, and now a high ball into half forward, but just floats into the hands of Michael Dunn there. He switches near side of the ground, where McLean takes the mark in a bit of space. Now on the left delivers
beautiful
to
kick.
Cooper once again. So Cooper's
looking for an option. His eyes are darting around. He's going to go really short. Just 15.
Yeah, Parker, he's called to play on now anyway. They're really not happy to bomb it in. They want to find someone to deliver to. Parker has worked this really well. He's got through the Wanderers' defence and had a couple of bounces. Now delivers inside forward 50. The big fella Broadbent spilt the mark, but he throws it on the boot now towards goal. It's going to fall just inside the field of play, and Horrigan takes the intercept mark. And
well done to Matty Parker there. He didn't have any options, so he just took it on himself. And those years on, what was he, at Richmond's list, wasn't he, a few times? And he's obviously got a lot of experience there.
So Wanderers have worked it to the outer side of the ground again, which has been their preferred option all day, and Brenton Motlop takes the mark in front of the scoreboard.
Brenton Motlop's looking around, but he's going to have to go back to try and go out again. So they're going to have to try and come down to our commentary wing if they can, but it looks like a long way from being able to do that. He heads towards the middle. He's got a chance here. No, it's cleared again by Tiwi with 3 or 4 of their flea brigade, if you like, the fleas running through that middle there.
And again, delivery inside 50. They just tidied it up in the middle, and then Hams delivered to Thompson at centre half forward.
Thompson's a long way out here, but he fancies his chances. He's probably going to kick it from 50, but I think he's right in front, so he's got to have a shot.
An exciting player, Michael Thompson. He's had a great season also for Tiwi Bombers. Really consistent year.
One of that brigade of small players that are just doing so well for him.
He's got a short option, and delivers beautifully and finds Dwayne Kerenua, who took that spectacular mark earlier in the quarter. This time a straightforward one on the lead. And obviously Thompson was a little bit worried about the distance, and Kerenua gave him a better option. So,
and he was a late inclusion, wasn't he, Kerenua? But he's showing his wares, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Kerenua from directly in front, distance won't be a problem, kicks it up and drifts back on the breeze, just inside the goalpost. His teammates celebrate with him, and Tiwi got another goal on the board.
And a little bit of a breeze, I think, going left to right of our screen there. It's not going to make a huge difference. It just helps a bit if you're hitting for the big kick towards the sticks when you're 55 out.
Yeah, that's right.
He wasn't 55 out that time, but it was great to get the wind behind it.
Exactly. He gave it plenty of air and just never gave away the goals. And so that's the 5th goal to Tiwi after they scored 4 pretty quickly early in the game. But we're into time on now, 22 minutes gone, first quarter.
And you're watching the coverage of the TIO NTFL season live here from Tracy Village in Larrakia Country, and about 22 minutes in, so there's not a lot of this quarter left, but it's a massive scoreline currently, 38-2.
So back in the middle again, and Purintarameri just forces it forward, and he's worked it all the way to centre half forward without a disposal as it's picked up, and Wanderers trying to get it out, but the hand pass misses the target. Tiwi hand pass over the top to Thompson. Thompson throws it on the boot. It's going to land in the goal square as Horrigan tries to get the fist to it. It spills out towards the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in next to the right hand behind post in Tiwi's attacking zone.
Should be time for another goal here from Tiwi if they're good enough. They've got a good set up down there.
So Broadbent against Fuller. Broadbent in front, that'll make it hard for Fuller. Just nudged him underneath it, I think. The umpire's seen that, and it'll be a free kick. And
you don't want to do that if you're a ruckman right on the forward line, especially when you're 6 goals down. So
it might not have looked like there was much in it, but it's just enough to push the player under the ball and takes him out of the contest. So the free kick has to be paid.
And they pay it every time, and they have to, because as you said, it's part of our game is that the running jump in the ruck. You've got to protect the ruckman.
So Jackson Broadbent, the big fella, see what he's like in his set shot goal kicking.
Does he kick like a ruckman or does he kick like a forward? Let's see.
He kicks pretty well, I think, generally. But
I've seen him kick a few this year.
Kick on the way. Goal umpire hasn't moved. It's no problem at all for the big fella. So,
and apologies to all the ruckmen out there. Ruckmen kick very well for goal always. That's a great kick. And look, once again, Tiwi dominating. But an easy free kick given away, and just shouldn't happen. A bit of undisciplined play. So there's a bit to work with the coaches for Wanderers at quarter time. They just got to try and get them to, as I said, get some of the footy. It's just not, they're not getting any other shoe. They're just not getting into the footy.
Yeah, that's right. And as you said, they're coming from a bit back coming into the season. Wanderers. It's you said earlier in the call that they're in something of a rebuilding phase, and that's true across the whole club, I think. So it's probably this season's probably about just getting some of the small wins and improvements here and there, and they've certainly shown that in games this season. But they need to get their hands on the ball and get some control in this game, because Tiwi just running amok at the moment with 6 goals to 0 so far in the first quarter.
The scoreboard's still a bit high, but it's 6 goals 3, isn't it? So they've had a dominant performance so far. But Wanderers a chance now. They've gone down towards the flank.
Yeah, Maraka there looking for Kaylee Roberts out on the lead, but was punched away defensively and over the boundary line.
Can they reset here and get one back just to get a bit of stability back into the game, more credibility?
Getting close to quarter time now, 25 minutes gone in the quarter.
It's good to see the forwards all forward though now. They've got a chance when they've got that many forwards in that line. It was better than what happened in the first time they forward. So
the siren's gone. Siren's gone to end the quarter. Siren's a bit hard to hear.
Couldn't hear it through the headphones.
At Tracy Village, but that's the end of the first quarter, and pretty impressive Tiwi outfit in that first quarter, Mark.
Yeah, 6 goals, 3, 39 to 2 points. So a massive quarter, and we'll be back after the quarter time break for the second quarter of this big clash here at the NTFL TIO Stadium, TIO at Tracy Village.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to the second quarter down here at Tracy Village on Larrakia Country. We're watching the big clash between the Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers. Currently the scoreline is 6-3-39 to Tiwi and 2 points to Wanderers. A dominant first quarter by Tiwi that time, Stu.
Yeah, very, very impressive, weren't they? They got their hands on the ball in the centre, and particularly Matthew Parker just cleaned up everything in the middle of the ground, and
he's got the ball on a string, hasn't he?
Yeah, used it well going forward, whereas Wanderers really struggled to make connections going forward when the odd occasion that they did. But they're away this time with the first clearance through Sinclair down towards half forward, and Braden McLean just couldn't hold on to that mark. There's a scramble for the ball at ground level now as
they've got to make this first one pay. With the 9-9-9 system we have, they've got a chance here it was spread out a bit, and it didn't allow the Bombers to run back that quick. So 3 seconds in, they had a chance to get a kick going forward.
But Tiwi first hands on the ball, it spills out in the tackle, and again it's put to the ground. This is going to be a Wanderers free kick.
Run onto it, mate.
The advantage has been taken, and play on's the call that pass delivered inside forward 50. I think that's going to be a high tackle as well. So a real chance for Wanderers to
put him under pressure, but he was good enough to sort of keep the eye on the footy and draw the free kick, which is a great effort.
Yeah, it's Riley Calvin who's spent a bit of time in defence in the first quarter, and obviously they've moved the magnets around a bit, and he's gone forward. And
a good move to keep a couple of moves. It's just got to give the players a bit of a lift if they can do that.
So Calvin, he's just pushed that one off to the right, whereas the Tiwi players were well aware of that little bit of breeze, weren't they? Just sat it up and allowed for the breeze to bring it back. He's just pushed it across on the breeze to the right. So an unfortunate miss there for Wanderers. Would have been a great start for them in this quarter, but Tiwi building around the outer side of the ground now.
Here they go again, Tiwi, with a big strong kick. That's turned that one over, I think, actually.
Yeah, just fell short of the target and bounced out of bounds on the outer side between wing and half forward. So just into the second minute of play in the second quarter. Wanderers have had that one chance, but went begging, and now
it's really important that they recover here, Wanderers, and keep the ball in their forward line, trying to get a bit of pressure on board.
Pickett there just trying to burst through after receiving from the hit out. Oh, huge leap again. That was
unrealistic, really.
I think that'll be called unrealistic. Hope Kurt Dunn's okay. Looks like he's getting to his feet now. He's okay, but
he's trying to reach for the stars there. Big kick forward from Wanderers this time, and it's just gone over the back. At an easy clearance for Tiwi again, but ball's out of bounds, so there's a chance to reset and have another go here. But that was a big fly, but unrealistic. Unfortunately, the ball was a mile away.
I think if you wanted a definitive vision of unrealistic, you could play that one. I think, Dodgy. It was a couple of metres away from it at least. So from the boundary throw in, all slips out now, but Tiwi with the numbers again. Hams gets tackled, gets a hand pass out, and again it's a stacks on here. There's going to be a Wanderers free kick for holding, so a chance out wide. Yeah,
and this is good. Repeat entries for Wanderers, sort of 3 repeat entries, and it's just a chance for them to sort of put a bit of pressure back on, see how Tiwi can stand up if they can get a couple of goals here.
Jeremy Piercy it is with the free kick, and he's been one of their better players all year as well. As
he's kicking with the wind this time, so if as long as he kicks into it, he should be okay.
So kick on the way, it's going to lob in the goal square. Punched away from behind, it falls to the front of the pack. Well, trying to break through it. Maraka now throws it on the boot. I think it's a goal. It is. It's Wanderers' first goal. So good composure there from Maraka. Had plenty of Tiwi players around him, but just found a little bit of space for himself, threw it on the boot, and he's put Wanderers' first goal on the board. So they've
kicked it over his left shoulder that time, and that's a terrific goal, and that's just exactly what the doctor ordered for these guys. They two repeat entries, or 3, and a score on the board. Another one would make it very interesting, and just a bit of perceived pressure again from the players, just to make Tiwi look over their shoulders a little bit, because they pretty much had it their own way up until then.
Yeah, well, that's right, and it's the start to the quarter that Aaron Motlop would have been looking for. That Wanderers have had it camped in their forward half basically for the whole 4 minutes of this quarter. So just getting a little bit of control and reward with a goal there to Josh Maraka. Has
important hit here. Important clearance.
It's Parker again though, who tidies up from the back half of the centre circle. He finds Cooper out wide. He chips over the top looking for Pickett. Gets to him on the bounce. Some solid body contact down there as Pickett gets a hand pass out again. Cooper cleverly toe pokes it through and now picks up and hand passes out in front of Pickett. Pickett didn't have to break stride. Runs onto it now. Drills the ball in towards goal, but
missed it.
He didn't see Mitch Taylor obviously standing on the line, and he's pulled it in with one hand and saved the goal. So
pretty impressive from Mitch Taylor, Tom.
Yeah, he kicks in short. And
not such an impressive kick, but it's worked out.
Jones Cabillo it is.
Just get it clear of the back line. That's it.
He was under pressure there, and it's lobbed into the lap of Munkara, who spilt the mark, but picks up. Now passes in, but missed the tackle, missed the pass, and again the mark's spilt. But Motlop this time had enough time to...
Motlop was good enough to see where there was a player running and did well.
Piercy's kick finds Fijo leading from half forward, but still out here on the week, and he finds Horrigan.
They're working it well here, Wanderers. They're not sort of blazing away, and that's a great kick forward into the middle.
Sinclair it is with the mark, just between centre and half forward, looking around for a runner from behind. He gets one in, Matthew Motlop, and Motlop takes the mark and keeps running. And now he chips in short, but I'm not sure Fijo was awake to what was happening there and was just hacked away off the ground by Hams and out of bounds
Fijo
on the other side.
Running the other way, so I don't think he was.
Yeah.
yeah, you just got to be awake, haven't you, when those balls come in like that. A bit of a lull in play. It's been an arm wrestle, but I would say at this stage that the Wanderers have had the better of this quarter.
Broadbent in front, gets his hand to the ball, but no Tiwi player there, and it just finds its way over the boundary line again.
But once again, a repeat entry for a chance for Wanderers to go in again and maybe sneak another one.
Fuller up against Broadbent.
Big height difference, and Broadbent shows that by taking the ball out of the ruck.
It was almost pinched off his hands by Bedford there as he gets the hand pass forward. Dwayne Kerenua, coat hanger there, and that's an untidy high tackle, and he'll take the free kick. It's called to play on now as he took a step sideways, drills the pass, or the pass was good, but the mark spilt out there by Apatumi as Wanderers look to clear out of defence, but Kerenua comes in again, some clever work, gets the hand pass out in front.
Definitely more pressure from Wanderers now, and we are fumbling a few of these balls, and I think it's because the pressure's there and they're playing pretty tight man on man. They've got a turnover here.
So the drill pass comes inboard to Billy Crofts for Wanderers. He chips out wide, gives it plenty of height, but finds his teammate out there, and Wanderers the chance to build again as Austin kicks inboard. Was Jonah Austin kicking, looking for a
big tackle
Austin
there in the middle
Smith.
too. It's a big heavy tackle in the middle, and I think that's the way that the Wanderers have got to play this. They've got to play a bit of close checking footy to try and get back on the terms with Tiwi here.
Bedford reads it off of Fuller's hit out, but kicks it straight down the throat.
If you come down here to the broadcast wing, if he has a look, he's going cross half back anyway, but he's going to try and come this way, I'm sure.
Yeah, nice Tottenham. Yeah, there's not much here for them, so they're just chipping it around in the back half. Motlop again goes wide to Sinclair. Was a good kick, and Sinclair in space out on the outer wing, but again nothing immediately to go to, so he's stopping and looking, waiting for something to open up here, as it does, and he drills in short. That's a good pass.
When you play against a side like Tiwi, though, Stu, sorry to interrupt, you can afford to take a bit of time because they just want to run hard, and if you can just slow it down and play it on your own terms, it does work.
Billy Crofts now goes outside again, kicks
Great
good,
kick.
and finds Fijo on the outer side. But Tiwi have really worked back in numbers here, so there's a wall of red jumpers in.
He's going to have to kick it
Fijo.
over.
He does. It goes long to the pocket. It's going close to the line, but it's just picked off inside the boundary line by Dunn, and he chips across to Hams, waiting in the goal square.
Dunn and Hams basically doing what they do on the back line there at the moment, controlling things. Back again to Dunn.
Back outside to Blackney Noda, who drills the pass, and Parker just made some space out in front and takes a mark on the chest.
He's everywhere at the moment, Parker. I don't know who's playing on him, but they're going to have to get a bit tighter.
Well, that's not his best kick. It's a worm burner into the middle of the ground, picked up by Fuller. Fuller hooks the ball out wide. That's going to keep floating out wide and out of bounds on the full, unfortunately for Wanderers. So Parker will go and retrieve the ball from over the fence and bring it back into play. So
9 minutes into this quarter, and there's 6 goals, 9 to 1 goal 3. So that's it's still pretty much on terms for Tiwi, but Wanderers have looked very good in this quarter so far.
Well, that's right. We're almost halfway through the quarter, and Tiwi haven't added to their quarter time score, so that's a plus for Wanderers as Tiwi work it across the face of goal, and Blackney Noda now delivers along the wing. That's a beautiful pass. Finds Nathaniel Cooper out on the lead. Busy player, Cooper.
I was going to say he's all over the place, isn't he? Yeah, definitely.
But his pass just off target a little bit. Brenton Motlop tidies up for Wanderers. Sinclair gets it on the boot, but Cooper again. It's just a little bit off target, and Parker runs out of room, runs it over the boundary line, and that'll be a throw-in in front of the Wanderers coaching bench.
Brenton Motlop, he looks like a man playing against boys. He's a solid boy, isn't he? He's broad across the shoulders and the legs there, very strong. Hard to knock off his perch if you try and run at him.
So the boundary throw in, Broadbent in front, gets a hand to it.
Oh.
Looks like another high tackle there, not paid this time.
Paid.
I think might have been hands up in the air. So
I think it was unsighted by the umpire because it was definitely there, but we were on the right side of that and he was on the wrong side.
So from the ball up, it's Tiwi breaking. Bedford with the hands across to Cooper. Cooper hand passes inboard to Purantara Mary, who swings around onto the left boot. It's a wide open forward line and out on the long lead. The kick was good. Cantilla couldn't hold the mark, and in the end he's given away a free kick for pulling the jumper. So it's Totham in the back half who chips across to Motlop.
Tottenham's playing well too across that back line. I think he's been called a lot.
Yeah, as they just chip it around the outer side. Charles now looking inboard, and it's a good pass finding Calvin in the middle of the ground.
Calvin seems to be on his own a lot, so Tiwi's going to have a look at that if they can. Bad kick.
Missed the target again. Put Bake under all sorts of pressure. Austin Smith dives on the ball. He's got players around. If he can get it out, he does now, and eventually it comes back to Taylor. Taylor delivers looking for Cox on the outer side of the ground, but that's too far out in front of him and bounces over the boundary line again. So 12 minutes gone, second quarter, and it's a 5-goal margin. And
a real arm wrestle going on, but I think one of the great things for the game is that Wanderers have tightened right up, and they've put a lot of pressure on the Tiwi players. They're not able to run, they're not able to look as quick as they do when they've got nobody chasing them.
So Cox looked like he could have been holding there. Play on's the call as ball
scrappy there
spills to the ground. They get it up, and Tiwi get the clearance out now. Apwatimi just works his opponent under the ball and now runs onto it with a bounce on the left boot, chips towards goal, but just missed out to the left-hand side.
And he had a bit more time than he thought there. Someone needs to be kind of out. You clear, because you could slow down a second and take a step and would have put that away.
So Wanderers coming near side of the ground to ball off hands over the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in.
Chance to reset again for Tiwi and try and add to their quarter time score. They haven't troubled the scoreboard at all. I think they've got the 1 point.
Just that 1 point now,
from
yeah.
Pickett, yeah.
So boundary throw in, and big Kane Cox for Wanderers gets the front position, gets a fist to it, but that's just going to go straight back over the boundary line again. And
definitely they need a lift from Marlon Pickett too. I can see him walking around there. He looks right, doesn't look like he's injured. It just hasn't had much influence so far in the game.
No, you just wonder what his role is today. Parker clearly is the go-to in the middle of the ground, but
yeah. He generally plays the midfield, but he's definitely not in that position currently.
So Karanua again got the hand pass out, but there's a throw been paid, and I think this will come back and it'll be a Wanderers free kick. The advantage wasn't paid.
So what can Wanderers do here? They've got it's a pretty congested ground all the way around. As long as they haven't been bombing it forward, they've been holding and waiting, and and as we were saying before, I think that's the best way to play against Tiwi. You just try and slow it down. You can't beat them that chaos ball, so you've just got to play that game where you just try and pick out a player as they're doing here.
So Wilkes just goes laterally to Jones Cabillo.
I see Clive here, the runner for Tiwi, just about got caught there. Clive, keep going, mate. He used to be with AFL NT for a while there.
Billy Crofts finds Sinclair on the wing, and Sinclair's looking inboard.
His eyes are darting everywhere, looking for an option, but he's going to have to go down the line into a contest, I think, here.
Yeah, that's the way he goes. It's, a big leap from behind by Cox. Just couldn't hold on to the mark. It's picked up by Maraka. Kicks across the face of goal, bouncing, but Hams is going to be there first for Tiwi. Just lost control of the ball near the boundary line and then lost his footing under a bit of pressure. And
good play from the forward line from Wanderers there, because they did put the pressure on Hams. Hams in that first quarter just dominated across there, and with Cooper, but wasn't able to get clear there.
So it's a boundary throw in deep in Wanderers forward territory. It's
pushed off the
ball.
ball.
Wrestling in the ruck contest. Play on's the call as Cox gets it out the back, comes to Maraka again, throws it on the left boot. It's close to the boundary line, and they couldn't keep it in, and it's out of bounds for another go at the throw-in.
And plenty of blue jumpers and red jumpers down there, so it's going to have to be a clearance kick. If you can get the ball out of that ruck, it's going to be a big one.
Fuller and Monagatti again. The ball slips over the back. Slips out to Maraka now, gets the hand pass forward to Calvin, but he's tackled and it's chopped off, and Tiwi bring it away again, but only as far as Kane Cox for Wanderers. He gives to Sinclair. Sinclair looking to go short, but just had too much on it and fell into the lap of Michael Dunn over the back, and he just settles things down for Tiwi. Now looking to come to the near side of the ground where he's got big Broadbent in a paddock of space, but cutting across, reading that beautifully was Jones Cabillo, and just got a double fist to it out in front of Broadbent and got it over the boundary line.
He's been busy too, Jones Cabillo. He's playing well, and just a couple of times in that first quarter he sort of turned it over, but he's been great this quarter. So a chance here on the broadcast wing. It looks like a big pack of players around, but if I look down for both sides, they've both got players ready to go, so they're both looking for a chance here.
Throw in fell a bit short, but umpires were happy enough with it. As close to the boundary line, it's Aputumi again, kicks inboard, but no one there but Wilkes
just
for Wanderers.
Just to put the ball in the boot, then there's no one there.
Just expected someone to be there as
that's a great kick.
Goes forward. It is a good kick, and the mark out on the long lead was Ben Charles. He chips it over the top to Horrigan, who kept running from half back. Gets it on the bounce, and then gets...
He needed to get his wheels on a bit quicker then, because he had 2 or 3 players that were just a bit too far to kick to, but if he'd run another 5 or 10 metres, he would have been putting it right in that forward line. Instead, there's going to be boundary throw in on the Wanderers goal line, or on the Wanderers forward pocket there, and a chance to reset again.
The ball slips over the back. Maraka again on the left boot, kicks it high to the goal square, bounces in the goal square, but just the wrong side of the post, and
tried to shepherd it this time. So he learned his lesson from the first quarter where he tried to mark it. He tried to shepherd. It wasn't quite the right decision.
Got him the wrong way round. That was the one he needed to mark.
Yeah.
So Tiwi bring it in outer side of the ground, and the mark taken by Phillips out there. Haven't called his name much. Hasn't had a lot to do half back for Tiwi today.
A much more entertaining game now with Wanderers playing the sort of footy they're playing. It's to contrast in styles. They're playing the kick and mark game, and the Tiwi still playing that the chaos ball forward game as they always do.
Jones Cabillo goes back to where it came from, to Motlop. Matthew Motlop has Taylor inboard and finds him.
It looks like they're going to try and go again wide. I don't know if they're going to continue to come out this way or whether they're going to just push the ball around again.
Yeah, they've worked it pretty well here, although that one's just out of reach.
And that's the problem when you play that sort of game. You must mark it. You must make sure that it doesn't fall out like that, because that puts them back into a position of defence instead of attack.
Yeah, that's right. They had the chance to get it out in the open here and run it down this near side wing, but the kick just missed the target. And so it's a stoppage again. Again, the boundary throw-in's a little bit short, but
great kick,
nicely done. And Sinclair runs out, tries to drill a pass forward. Braden McLean's read it beautifully.
Just a bit short.
Picks it up on the bounce, chips over the top to Phillips. Phillips on the left, kicks high, looking for the big fella Broadbent, but Taylor puts the pressure on and he runs away from half back now. A little dinky kick short was just hooked in with one hand by Dwayne Keranua, and he delivers inside forward 50 to Blake Poo and Tatameri.
Look, you can play that kick and mark game, but don't play it when you're under pressure like that. Just kick the ball long, get it out of that back line, get it down there, put a contest in the middle, not rather than a shot on goal for Tiwi.
Yeah, that's right. The pass had to be pinpoint, didn't it? And it was probably too short anyway.
Pretty hard to do that, pinpoint a pass like that when you're running out of the back line. Just just hoof it along and put it to a contest up there on the wing. Easy from here though, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. Blake Purantatameri with the set shot.
Looks pretty easy from here, but we'll see. Right behind him we are, so we've got a good shot on goal. There it is.
Drifting a bit, but yeah, that's a good kick, a good finish, and one that's taken Tiwi Bombers 19.5 minutes into the quarter before they've scored their first goal. But in the end, Blake Purantatameri made no mistake, and so that's a goal apiece between Wanderers and Tiwi in this second quarter.
7-4 to 1-4. So once again, Wanderers I think have played well, but just the polish of Tiwi there, and a mistake coming out of back line has cost them a goal.
Yeah, that's right.
They're getting plenty of repeat entries though, Wanderers, so they've got some light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. The danger now is that now that Tiwi have got one, that you know, the floodgates don't open for them in the time on period of this second quarter. But shouldn't be an extra long quarter with just the one goal apiece having been scored. So.
And that's where it's so important in a game like this to get a good break early in that first quarter, because it becomes a bit of an arm wrestle, and they've already got the 6-goal break. Makes a big difference to the way the game finishes up, I think.
But Wanderers first hands on the ball from this stoppage. Calvin Chips looking for Crofts, but just a bit too short for him, and Tiwi tidy up at the back. Thompson, just a bit of footwork magic, gives by hand in the end out to Hams. Hams delivers inside the centre square, and
Hams' delivery is fantastic coming out of the back line like that.
So Broadbent by hand now to Phillips, who hand passed over the top, and here's a chance for Tiwi again. They've got runners everywhere. The hook shot towards goal looks good. It is good.
Great play.
It's another Tiwi goal.
It came from the back line. It came from Ashton Hams, who just, his possession and his kick out of that back line is brilliant. He picks the players out, he wins the ball, and he very rarely turns it over. He's been the old warhorse down there for a long time now. I know Nightcliffe were keen to get him across at one stage, but he wasn't going anywhere. He's a fabulous player for Tiwi.
So it was Dwayne Keranua again, the goal kicker. So his second for the game, and Tiwi have hit back pretty hard with those couple of late goals in this second quarter, and just stretch that lead out to 7 goals as we approach half time. And
he's a big moment player, isn't he, Dwayne Keranua? He's the guy that's there when they need him, and just put a bit of class on the way he kicked that ball forward.
Kaylee Roberts in there doing the ruck work for Wanderers, got sat on his backside that time. And
I think you called it too, Stewie. It looks like they're going to have to get a couple of goals in extra time, so that really makes it tough from Wanderers. They go forward again, Tiwi, and they're looking for a good option in the middle there. They found one.
Yeah, it's Keranua again. He's got his kicks a shocker, and it's chopped off by Kaylee Roberts.
As they say in the classic, he spent it before he had it, kicked the ball forward before he actually had it on his boot.
Yeah, Roberts' kick missed the target as well, and Tiwi able to tidy up. It's a high ball going towards half forward, punched away from behind, but Thompson first there for Tiwi at ground level as the siren goes to end the second quarter, one in which Tiwi added those 2 late goals after Wanderers got their first goal for the game in the quarter, and a much tighter contest in the second quarter, Mark.
Yeah, terrific, and it's good to see these players for Wanderers not dropping their heads. They're getting in, they're trying hard. They played the one-on-one game, and they also played the kick to touch game much better in that quarter. So we've got 8 goals 4 to 1 goal 4 here at Tracy Village. We'll be back after this half-time break for the second half of the TIO NTFL finals game here at Tracy Village.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to the second half of the big match down here at Tracy Village on Larrakia country of the NTFL TIO season. And we've got the big game between Tiwi and Wanderers, and the current scoreline is Tiwi up 8-4, 62 to 1 goal for 10. Wanderers, an interesting second quarter, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. Tiwi got away to flyer in the first quarter, of course, and Wanderers tightened it right up in that second quarter, had control for most of the quarter, although they couldn't really hit the scoreboard, got the 1 goal, and then Tiwi got those 2 late goals just to stretch that lead again. But we're underway again. Parker was first hands to the ball, but Crofts for Wanderers wins the clearance, gets it down towards half forward. Carlson Cantilla tidies up nicely and gives by hand to Michael Dunn, who delivers into the centre of the ground. Some strong work by Piercy there, and Austin Smith tidies up and delivers nicely to Maraka.
Great short pass just on the run there, and had a look and made sure he didn't blaze forward. And a big chance again now for Wanderers to have a shot on goal and get their their second goal for the day.
Yeah, Wanderers really strong in the contest there and got control of the ball, and the delivery inside 50 was perfect as Maraka will kick from, we're guessing here, but just about on the 50, I think, as kicks on the way. Looks like that's swinging back. It's being celebrated on the goal line, and again, that's a terrific start to the second half for Wanderers with first goal on the board, and it's Maraka again who's kicked their only 2 goals for the game, so he's a lively forward for them, and just some good intent, I think, around the ball from Wanderers, and won the turnover and scored the goal to open up the scoring in this second half.
Perfect start for Wanderers, and they just look better when they play that sort of game where they try and pick players out rather than blaze forward. And unfortunately, they've lost Cabillo to an injury, we think a concussion. We're not sure what happened there, but I have it on good authority from my contacts there that he won't be back for the rest of the game. So that's a bit of a shame, because he's a good all-round player around the ground.
So back in the middle of the ground, and high tackle free kick's going to be paid here to Piercy. He's up and running, but kicks slews off the side of the boot. It's out into open space as Cox runs onto it, out in front of Anthony Munkara, but just couldn't control the ball, and it's over for a throw-in.
Just into the Wanderers forward line, so again a chance for them to reset and have a repeat entry into the 50. So a reasonable crowd here today, and they're making plenty of noise, and they're true supporters that come out to a game like this one in the heat.
So Broadbent with the hit out, but at ground level, Cox just hacks it off the ground to Smith. Smith throws it on the left boot down towards the top of the goal square. Calvin couldn't control it as Dunn
great kick
tidies up, and he finds McLean. McLean's got
fantastic.
Thompson running through the middle of the ground. And
stretching through the middle there, Stu, and he's got a handball over the top to, is it?
Bedford, that is. Yep. And he tries the chip pass just a little bit too short for Parker, but gets it back to Bedford, and Parker just weaves through some traffic there and has an option out wide, which he goes to.
He's always got plenty of time, Parker. He's just that sort of player, isn't he?
And the kick comes into the forward 50, and Edward Turner takes the mark deep, close to the boundary line on that outer side of the ground.
It'll take a good kick, but they've kicked a couple from there, so there's a real good chance here unless he looks for a short option. Not much movement on the Tiwi line, so I think they're going to have a shot.
So Turner's kick on the way. Looks like this will lob in the goal square, or Big Broadbent got his hands to it, but a snapshot from ground level was never coming back far enough, and through for a behind to Tiwi.
Chance for Wanderers to reset here and push forward again.
Mitch Taylor with ball in hand in the goal square.
He's looking left, he's looking right, and he's gone back to the left again, so
just chips it across to Horrigan in the back pocket.
They're going to play this chipping game, I think, down the back there. This is the way they do things.
They're looking to switch across the ground again.
It's a long way across, though.
Yeah, kick's good. And Sinclair was set up with that one just a bit too high on top of his head, but
well roved.
Coming out of defence again, they switch back across, and this time Totham's in a bit of space. He chips around the half-back flank to Wilkes.
They're just looking for the space all the time. It's good. It's great play.
Over the top to Fuller, who sweeps the hand pass forward, but there was a couple of Tiwi players closing, and It was Kurt Dunn in the end who just tied it up and delivers to Michael Dunn, who's got Phillips running on the outer side of the ground. He chips back inboard to McLean. McLean looking to give by hand. He does to Michael Dunn, who kept running. And
Great
Michael Dunn kicks long, looking for Bedford down there. Taylor going back with it, got his hands to it, couldn't control it. As Bedford kicks towards goal. Oh, he was celebrating out there, but just floated offline in the end, obviously, and banged into that right-hand goalpost.
Looked really good off the boot. I think that's why he was celebrating, but you learn you just don't do that until the goalkeeper puts the flag up. Or at least puts his fingers up.
So Austin Smith takes the mark at half-back, just chips out sideways close to the boundary line where Horrigan goes back to where it came from effectively, and Sinclair takes that mark. It's got Calvin giving a lead out on the near side, but he gets closed down. Has to go to Calvin now, close to the boundary line again, and it's worked out okay for them. But pretty stop-start at the moment as Horrigan looks to run forward now.
And it looks like Marlon Pickett's playing a loose in the forward line, so they're looking for an extra goal or two from him, I'd imagine, or some forward possession. Oh, sorry, the back line, I beg your pardon. Forward possession from the back line. Worked really well against St Mary's last week.
Austin Smith with delivery to Wilkes in the middle of the ground.
It's 3 in a row. Austin Smith's just dominated that ball chase there.
Chips out wide to Calvin, and Calvin takes the mark just forward of centre wing here.
He's too far out to score, so he's looking for an option, but there's no movement.
Decides to bomb it long inside forward 50. Oh, a big leap from behind, but no mark taken. Blackney Noda hand passes over the top, but into the hands of Wilkes, who gives it backwards. Oh, that's a pretty crude tackle there, and Marlon Pickett, it was the tackler, and he gives away the free kick to Fijo.
And Fijo made sure the umpire knew about it. I'm not saying he didn't get hit hard, but he certainly made sure he laid there just a second or two, make sure. It's usually a good kick for goal, Fijo, isn't he? So let's see how he goes here. He's probably going to kick once again, hard to see, but probably 50, 55 out.
Yeah, just worry about the distance here for Keelan Fijo, but I think he's half waiting for something to break, but it's not going to happen, so
tries to make some extra
on
distance.
The way. He's got a fair bit of purchase on that, but just hung it out to the right and through for a behind only.
So a couple of attacks on goals from both sides haven't resulted in anything particularly strong. Obviously, Wanderers got that first goal. But it's interesting sort of style of difference in style of play again. Tiwi go long out of back line again towards the centre, and just they dominate around those ball changes like that.
So Thompson looking for a switch. Chips it into the corridor, but that's not a good kick. And it's chopped off by Ben Charles.
Really dangerous if you don't get the ball. Hits it right if you do that.
Charles drills the pass to Piercy at centre half forward.
And I think that kick would make Paddy Bowden pull his hair out a bit, because you just don't do that when you're kicking the ball like that.
Yeah, they're keen to take it on, but
you've got to be careful. You can't kick it straight.
Pass has to hit. So
you go back and into the corridor, but not straight across.
Piercy now runs around, kicks long, looks like this one's out to the right and has missed everything, so out of bounds on the full, and Ashton Hams is there to bring it back in, switches across the face of goal to Phillips.
Does it every time.
Back pocket.
Hams, he switches and looks for Phillips or for Cooper on either side.
Phillips short to Blackney Noda. He switches back to Hams again.
Yeah, look out this side towards Cooper.
Yep, Pickett it is this time. He's got some space. The big fella Broadbent has made the lead down at half-back. Chips over the top, looking for Kurt Dunn. Just fell a bit short of him, and now he's under some pressure. Got tackled high. The play-on's the call as Broadbent's off and running, and gives to Phillips, who delivers on the left inside 50.
Fell straight out of his hands.
Calvin, and that's let Tiwi in as Michael Thompson scoops the ball up. He's off with a bounce now, kicks on the left inside the forward 50. No mark taken by Tiwi, but it is taken by Jones Cabillo for Wanderers in the back half, and he chips it to his captain Mitch Taylor, about 20 out from their defensive goal. He goes wide, looking for Charles out there. He's under a bit of pressure and gets wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up on the outer side of the ground between wing and half forward for Tiwi. So again, just the one goal so far, 9 minutes into the third quarter, and Tiwi just struggling to get it in their forward half, and
they're also struggling to get their game going a little bit here. And I think it's partly from the pressure, or mostly from the pressure from Wanderers. They're definitely playing that same sort of game, man on man, and then when they've got possession of the ball, they're picking out their players very carefully. So go forward again with a big kick towards the goals, Tiwi, and it's a great mark.
Yeah, it was a good kick by Apotimi that time, and Kim Cantilla again out on the lead, takes the mark, and so just as we said, they're struggling to connect inside forward 50. The pass is good and the lead was good, so Kim Cantilla a chance, kicking for his third in the match.
Mr. Reliable always there when needed. Cantilla puts his hand up and plays it well. So 10 minutes into the quarter, and it looks like Tiwi might get their next goal.
Cantilla taking plenty of time, kicks towards goal, and he's judged that one perfectly once again, no problem whatsoever. So
he's a superstar, isn't he, when he gets the ball in his hand, and that just once again, as you said, Stu, they didn't get connection right that time, and that time made a big difference with the way the ball came in to Cantilla. Just he sit out there in front of a big mark to put the ball into the goal square.
So a goal to Kim Cantilla stretches that lead back out to 43 points as we tick towards 11 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Yeah, we can see some cloud building over there. It looks like it might go around us. We're right on the beach here, so right on the edge of the beach. So I think it's going to go around, follow the coastline around, but hopefully we don't get any rain.
Let's hope so. It's a game at Palmerston at 6 o'clock. They might cop a little bit, but it's Tiwi breaking from the middle this time. Pickett got his hands on the ball, got it over to Parker. Parker out here to Cooper. Hand passes to himself in the end and then gives to Parker. Parker gives by hand, looking for Cooper again. It bounces into his hands now. Cooper swings around the corner towards goal, but he's just hooked that one too far and through for a behind.
He's frenetic, Cooper, and sometimes I think he can probably just slow down a bit and take an extra step. He's that sort of player. He just loves to run and chase the footy, and sometimes just doesn't look where he's kicking, but he's exciting to watch, isn't he?
He is, and he hand passed that one before he knew what was there, so he went and got it himself the next time. Taylor's kick in is good, and Piercy takes it in the hands out in front.
Been solid, Piercy.
Oh, again, fortunate that time, but tied it up by Horrigan. He got the hand pass back over his shoulder to Maraka, who chips inboard, and he finds Calvin just at the back edge of the centre square for Wanderers. He's looking at what he's got sideways. Eventually he goes to Horrigan back out this side, so they're determined as much as they can to not just blast it forward and try to pick their way forward with the short passing. Calvin going backwards now. And
he's got a long way back, hasn't he?
Yeah, Matthew Motlop switches to the outer side, and now they try to go down that outer side, which is looks like it's working at the moment, but that kick just misses the target as Jonah Austin runs onto it for Wanderers, but got too close to the boundary line, and that one's out of bounds, and it'll be throw in.
It's an interesting stage of the game. It's basically, once again, a bit of an arm wrestle going on. I think Tiwi have started to connect better with the footy, and Wanderers are just trying to do what they do, which is to play tight footy and pick out their players as they kick forward.
Monagatti with that hit out as Tiwi look to force it forward. It's good work at ground level by Totham, but there's a whistle on the play here, and I think it's going to come back to Totham. Just a bit of high contact in that exchange.
And he's been good today, Totham. I think he's been the sort of player we called a lot. Great kick forward. They look good here going in now, Wanderers. Plenty of ball movement.
Brenton Motlop on the end of this one, but he's too far out to score.
Just having a look to see where he can go. Ball's going to hold up in the wind a bit.
Yeah, kicks it up high, and Hams was sitting underneath it, but Monagatti came across and made sure that one was killed over the boundary line. He's punched it about 30 metres away up the hill, so got to wait for the football to be retrieved. There's no spectators out there except the ones on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, the ones that don't like to pay the $12 to get in.
So there's Tiwi water runner eventually.
It's going to go over the fence.
His way up to retrieve the ball.
So a chance once again for Wanderers to reset with a forward entry again into their 50. If they could get another couple here, it'll just keep the game honest, I think. It could just make sure Tiwi are sort of playing the game they know how to play.
So we're back into the action. The boundary throw in. Cox up high, got his hand to the ball in the ruck contest, but spills to the ground now and just trying to paddle it forward. Tiwi. The quick kick comes out of the pack, but it's all Tiwi there in the goal square as Parker picks up and sweeps a hand pass forward to Cooper once again. He hand passes over the top and gets the give and receive. Cooper kept running, got it from Bedford, and now Cooper long towards half forward. Kiranua under this one just juggles it in front of Motlop, but took the mark. Dwayne Kiranua swings around and kicks long to the goal square. Big leap from Mitch Taylor, got his hands to the ball but was off balance and it spilled out the back, and a pretty easy goal in the end to Matthew Cantilla this time as Taylor got up high, really needed to hold on to the ball though. It got over the back and it was all Tiwi, and Matthew Cantilla just walked it through for another Tiwi goal.
Yes, and that's their 10th for the day, and they look pretty solid going forward then. They've got over an 8-goal lead here, so it's going to be difficult for Wanderers to get back in. Wanderers have to be really careful this doesn't become a blowout, because that's when you're rebuilding a side like this from the bottom, you can't have big wins, big losses like that.
Yeah, so a similar pattern this quarter. Wanderers scored the first goal and then Tiwi have scored the next two. So
you're watching the NTFL TIO coverage of the big clash between Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers here at Tracy Village, and we're about 15 minutes into the quarter. So there's a bit of a feel that Tiwi might run away with it here. So let's see what.
Yeah, perfect hit out straight down the throat of Parker, who kept running, but this time his delivery not so good, and it's chopped off in defence by Jonah Austin for Wanderers. He chips out wide to Taylor. Taylor drills it up the middle of the ground where Austin Smith had it on the chest, but dropped the mark, and that's let Tiwi in with Hams just delivering towards half forward, and Big Broadbent takes the mark there. He
good kick
has a short option, and it's Cooper, Nathaniel Cooper, taking McMahon. He's called to play on now. He's
too far out
under some trouble here and got tackled, and the ball slipped out of his hand. So yeah, once again, just a bit over enthusiastic. He wanted to play on, but didn't really have anything to go to. It was brought inboard, and the mark taken by Sinclair.
And how good has Matthew Parker been today? He's been everywhere, and I think he's racked up a stack of possessions. We don't have a statistician, but I reckon he'd be up around the 30.
Yeah, for sure, as Cox comes out of defence, but just overcooked that one, and Carlson Cantilla tidies up for Tiwi, delivers to Blackney Noda in the middle of the ground, and he's looking to switch to the near side, back into the corridor, and finds Hams. Hams has got Kurt Dunn on the lead out here, gives that a bit of air, and could be in trouble, but controlled it enough to get it out the back, and Dunn runs onto it now, gives inboard to Michael Dunn, and he kicks high towards half forward at ground level there. Picked up nicely, and that one's swinging right back towards goal. It might go all the way through. Bedford it was that got it, but the Wanderers defenders just got a hand to it. It looked like they'd all had air swings for a while at it, but Bedford got
it. Supporters thought it was home, and as we did. It must be just on the line.
So Wanderers have worked it to the outer side of the ground, a long ball, but Blackney Noda comes in. Just again spilt the mark off the chest, and there's been a few drop marks. It doesn't look to be particularly slippery out there. Of course, it's hot and humid, which always makes it difficult. But
yeah, for our interstate viewers, we haven't really had the rainy season start properly up here yet. There's been no monsoonal rains. We're looking across the horizon, and we can see what we call a couple of hectic vectors, which are the early signs of a monsoon, but not here yet. So dry conditions extensively, but the ball is very, very slippery because of the humidity.
Wilkes for Wanderers goes looking for Brenton Motlop. He gets up high, the ball gets over the back. Here's a chance as running onto it down there was Charles. Almost had his jumper pulled. Play on's the call as a strong tackle, and it'll be a ball up close to the boundary line on the outer side of the ground there as
you're watching
each other up.
You're watching the NTFL TIO coverage of the big clash here between Tracy Village Oval, between Tiwi Bombers and Wanderers, and an interesting game, but it looks like Tiwi might open up, but Wanderers are certainly finding it out.
So 19 minutes gone, third quarter, and again it's a boundary throw in on that outer side of the ground.
They've had some dominant players with Parker and Cantilla, those guys sort of dominating around the packs there. It's just been an incredible effort from some of those guys. And Hams, of course, always on that back line.
So speaking of Parker,
there he is again.
Ball in hand again, and
he likes to run.
Yeah, and he's pretty skillful at dodging one way and then the other. He gives it off to Thompson now. Thompson running through half forward, couple of bounces, chips the ball in. It slips over the top. Karanua tries to kick off the ground, but it's skewed off the side of the boot, and I think that's bounced into the behind post, so it'll be a boundary throw in.
So when we go to the Nichols medal, which is our best and fairest here in the NTFL, we'll be seeing plenty of highlight reel for Karanua. I think he'll be doing lots of these things. He's certainly a big moment player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been fantastic, and started the day with that big spectacular mark in the forward half, and
there's always something happening when the ball's near him, that's for sure.
Yep. And little Cooper as well, he's been on fire. So kick comes out, Cooper's in the action here, but just all he could do was sit behind Cox that time, and Cox took the mark nicely in his hands.
Slight height difference between the two.
Yep, Cox kicks along around the wing. Michael Dunn sits under it, just got it down to the advantage.
The look away handball.
Yep, back to Dunn, who's under plenty of pressure from Pearcey. Picks it up nicely, and then a sliding try over the boundary line there. But good effort by Pearcey. It was 1 against 2 and battled really hard and won a stoppage.
Yep, so just on the defensive side of the goals for Wanderers, I think they're a chance to once again resetting back into that 50-metre arc.
Sinclair takes it, gives by hand to Calvin, but he was wrapped up straight away by Carlson Cantilla, and it'll be a ball up again.
Yeah, 21 minutes in, it's looking like that's where we're going to be finishing the scoreline, but there hasn't been that many goals kicked this quarter, but we just don't know. It could be another couple here, who knows.
Parker just lost control of the ball and laid the tackle, but it comes out to Morocco, who gives by hand outside to Wilkes. Wilkes' kick is smothered nicely by Bedford, and over the boundary line just lets him know that he got beaten on that occasion, but the contest was good, and Bedford's another one who's been really strong all day for Tiwi.
He has, and Fuller there was just pretty aggressive at the ball.
So Austin Smith at ground level again, gets control, eventually hand passes forward, but it's chopped off by Turner. Turner looking outside for Parker here, or coming from behind strongly was Roberts for
he got pretty hit
Wanderers.
He got hit pretty hard there. I think it's just winding, but he's
laying on the ground like a dead cockroach. He's got himself up now.
No, there's not much of his body has got a tattoo on it, so you can see him from a distance.
So it's a boundary throw in once again. And
he's tall, but he's slight built, but he loves to run, doesn't he, Parker? He's one of those players.
Right. Cox,
good tackle.
Ground level, gives to Sinclair, just gets a kick as he's tackled. Totham attacks it strongly and now kicks long down towards half forward. It's going to bounce in space and keep bouncing out to the boundary line and over again. So a bit stop-start at the moment, but the siren goes there to end the third quarter, and once again it was Wanderers with the opening goal, just like the second quarter, and then Tiwi kicked the last 2 of the quarter, but again it was a tight contest throughout the quarter.
Yes, and Cooper, Cantilla, Parker, they're sort of controlling it. Ashton Harms off the cross back line, but we thought that I think that we went okay, Wanderers went okay with some of those players, but they just don't have that star factor. I think they're sort of polished, that they need to sort of come back, but it's important that they come back after this break and make sure they don't get blown away, and that's the most important thing they can do when you're rebuilding a side. So we'll be back straight after this break with more from the great game here down to Tracy Village.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to the Tracy Village ground here. We were watching the big clash between the Tiwi Bombers and the Wanderers here. An interesting game because that first quarter, Tiwi went to a 6-goal lead, but they've only kicked 4 goals since then. So Wanderers have held them back and they kicked 2 of their own. They've got a comfortable lead, but it could have been a lot worse than that, Stu.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been pretty impressed with Wanderers actually since quarter time. They look like they might have been a little bit shell-shocked at the quarter time break, but they've fought back really hard. I mean, they've been outscored still, but 2-4 in 2 quarters since then, and they've been hard around the contest and they've given themselves some opportunities. So. No, pretty impressed. But, by the same token, Patrick Bowden will be happy to take the points out of this game and
he will
keep Tiwi in the hunt for a top 3 spot come finals time.
He definitely will, and he held him back a long time that time. But Parker once again got that clearance, just turned the ball over, but a great tackle then to stop the ball getting clear.
So Ham's just tidying up across half-back as normal. That one just slips through the hands of Pickett, and that gives Wanderers a chance as Piercy drives the pass forward, and it's a well-directed pass, and Calvin out on the lead, takes it on the chest.
Beautiful kick from Piercy that time. Just that's exactly where you want the ball if you're a forward, just right in front, so you can take it in your hands.
Piercy's really come into the game in the last couple of quarters, and it's been strong around the contest for them. Calvin kicks long towards goal. It's going to fall short and off to the side, and off hands just dribbles through for a behind to Wanderers.
And it's been pretty much the story, the tale of the tape with the Wanderers. They've gone forward well, but that last little kick towards goal has been an issue for them. They kicked 2 goals, 6. If it been 6 goals, 2 had made a big difference.
So Tiwi have worked it to the outer side of the ground where McLean takes a mark. He's got Kurt Dunn running forward and chips over to him. He plays on quickly around the wing, and
Tiwi do that so well, don't they?
Just building here now, running back into the middle of the ground and switching towards him. Parker from behind. Parker didn't really get near the ball. It slips to Anthony Munkara, who kicks down towards the forward pocket. It's punched away in defence by Motlop, but at ground level, some terrific work by Kim Cantilla again, off and running with a bounce, straightens up, kicks towards goal and bangs it through.
Beautiful football.
As soon as you look around, Kim Cantilla's got 4 goals on the board, and he's been a headache up forward as far as the Wanderers' defence is concerned.
He has, and look, and once again he went straight to Matty Parker and gave him the high five, because I mean that's the sort of stuff that you guys that have been running all day and then they can jump like that, just hold the ball in. Even though he wasn't able to take the mark, he knocked the ball down to their possession and held it in there, and Cantilla was good enough to get a great goal, and that's vintage Tiwi football, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, and Kim Cantilla is just a threat every time the ball's in his vicinity, and it's been one of the big differences today.
And over the season, I think he's been terrific this year, and he's definitely going to be a guy they're going to look to going deep into the finals.
Yeah, he's the captain at the moment as well, so terrific leadership from him as Parker again in the middle, this time by hand, gives it to Thompson. Thompson goes one way then the other, but wrapped up by Piercy once again. And
I'm not sure who's playing on Parker, but surely you try and put a bit of body on him or something. He's just walking around there on his own. You can't put a hard tag on someone in the middle like that, but you can actually stand man on man, put an arm across, try and stop some of the movement.
And believe it or not, it's Parker who's made his way out to half back there and
so take
the free kick from the out of bounds on the full kick. So
and his anaerobic capacity is massive. Yeah. He's just non-stop. Oh, look at that kick. Amazing. He's kicked it 60 metres.
Oh, another big leap from behind, but no hands on it. Bake at ground level, swings a hand pass to Piercy. He gives inboard to Totham. Totham this time just a bit too far, and Braden McLean, who of course is a long-time Wanderers player, tidies up for Tiwi, and that's a beautiful pass into the centre square, and Anthony Munkara kicks pinpoint once again. Purantatameri swings on the left, kicks towards goal.
Kick from Purantatameri.
That's
one-on-one
in the goal
That's
square.
Great.
It gets over the top.
How good was that? Purantatameri, take your hat off, man. That was fantastic. It was just he just had a second or two to get the sights in and just kicked it from 45, 50 out, and brilliant play.
Yeah, pretty clever by the big fella Broadbent in the goal square as well. Looked like he was shaping to mark, and just nudged his opponent under the ball and let it sail over the top and
good
bounce through for another Tiwi goal. So
they're looking very dangerous now, Stu. They've got into an 11-goal lead. Yeah, they've got to 11-goal lead, and this is a danger for Wanderers, who have tried really hard all day, but they've just got to make sure this doesn't get to be a 150-point loss.
Looks like Billy Croft's standing next to Parker in the middle at the moment.
That's a move on. That's a move. I don't think he was playing on him earlier, was he?
No, not sure, but if he was, he hasn't had much of it, and Parker's had plenty of it.
Yeah, Parker's best for BRG as far as I'm concerned. He's just in everything, got everything, and great skills.
So back in the middle, Monagatti wins the hit out. It was Crofts who was first to it, but got worried out of it, and now Parker's found himself loose again. Or goes without the ball this time. Piercy tidies up for Wanderers out to Fijo. Fijo, the hand pass back to Bake, just at his feet though, and he's under some pressure, but manages to get the hand pass up to Fijo again. Good smother, but falls back to Bake. Bake kicks high towards half forward. Off hands, it's taken by Calvin, grabbed by the jumper over his head almost, as they tried to work it out, but it's Tiwi again, just a bit of composure down back, but that hand pass missed the target, and play on the call as Fuller tries to work it forward. He does now into the hands of Calvin, but Kurt Dunn once again sweeping across the back, just gets the ball out of the immediate danger.
Couldn't get control of it.
And yeah, it's pretty willing down there. Some
bodies being thrown everywhere, all legal. I think it's going to be a free kick to Tiwi here, and they're going to look to rebuild. They've switched the play over to Cooper. I think it's Cooper over there. Once again, running out that Munkara running out that back line. Big kick forward.
Chips it forward. Tottenham standing underneath this one,
Tottenham, great mark.
Takes an uncontested mark.
A really good game for him today in the tough conditions.
So just
reads the play so well.
Looking a couple of ways and chips in, looking for Sinclair there, just off target a bit, but bounces to the advantage of Fijo, who hand passed on the up. They get it back to Horrigan now. Horrigan out wide has Maraka in some space. Bounce evades him initially, but now he settles and kicks long towards goal, into the goal square. Good defensive work by Tiwi. They see it forced away. Monagatti got worried out of it. The ball slips out of his hands. It comes across to Austin Smith. Has a shot for goal, but it's smothered and over the boundary line. Unlucky.
It would have been reward for hard work for Austin Smith. He's worked hard, toiled hard all day, but just couldn't get it through there. So the chance to reset again right on the goal line.
Just a bit of push and shove in the goal square, but the players are focused now as the hit out comes to Pickett, who Pickett clears away down this side. Mitch Taylor almost interfered with then, got his hands to the ball anyway, but play on's the call. Puran Tatameri just had it knocked away from him at ground level. Parker in over the top, lays the tackle this time.
There's probably about 10 players for Tiwi you could put in the best there. They've just been good all day, those small running players, Puran Tatameri, Cooper. You can tell they're just brilliant, aren't they? Just keep doing what they do.
Austin Smith at ground level trying to control it. Piercy breaks the tackle in the end. Strong effort, and now swings around, gets some space, delivers out wide. The kick's good. Brenton Motlop just couldn't quite get his hands to it to bring it in, and it kept rolling and rolling and rolled out of bounds.
Brenton Motlop had all the chances there. Didn't quite sight the ball early enough, maybe. But just a great kick forward from Piercy then. So currently a 11-goal lead to Tiwi. You'd be happy with that if you're Paddy Bowden, but I'm sure he wants to win it by 14 or 15 if he can.
Yeah, that's right. They
coach of Tiwi.
Don't want to slip into bad habits as we're well into the second half of the season, as Monagatti works his way to the front, double-fisted punch there at the ball, and couldn't be controlled and over the boundary line again.
Yeah, and you can smell the rain in the air. I think we're going to miss it, but they'll definitely get down there at Palmerston this afternoon at Casale's over. When who's playing down there? It's
Darwin and Pint.
Yeah, Pint. So that'll be a wet old ground down there, as it usually is, or quite often is, not usually.
So ball slips out here to Maraka, kicks on the left down towards the forward pocket. Strong work by Calvin, but Kurt Dunn tackled with the ball, couldn't break free. It spills to Austin Smith. The free kick's been paid as the snapshot went to goal, but I don't think the advantage is going to be paid, and I think it was offline anyway.
I think he was pretty happy. They weren't calling the advantage because it was a point.
Yep. So it's going to come back to Maraka in that forward pocket.
Maraka's had plenty of it too, so he's been another player that's been serviceable, I say, all day without being a superstar.
That's right. He's, of course, their only goal kicker for the game as well. Got both of their goals and lining up from deep in that pocket this time. kick on the way. I think that's missed on the skinny side and through for another behind to Wanderers.
Tail of the tape again, just a couple of metres short from being a fantastic kick. But yeah, he's been solid, Marakara, and he's as you said, he's kicked the 2 goals for the game for Wanderers. So that's they're going to have to build around those sort of players. Bit of push and shove going on behind the ball there.
Brenton Motlop just a little bit late on the scene, but no damage done, and
he just walked away and said, "What, me?"
And Tiwi just happy to chip it around the back half at the moment. Carlson Cantilla now just a bit further out from goal takes the mark.
I don't know if they can play that sort of icing the clock game. Never seen them do that. I think they've always got to run hard and run forward.
Bake takes possession of the ball, but he's set upon immediately and tackled to the ground by Pickett.
It's a pretty smart move now if you can take 2, 3, 4 minutes off the clock when you're this far in front. But it's difficult to do in this sort of blustery conditions. Parker again.
Parker often running hand passes forward. The hand pass sweeps out to Turner. Turner in some space, delivers with a pass, and once again it's Kim Cantilla at the end of it. And Parker kept running, gets it over the top, sweeps the hand pass over, and the ruckman Jack Monagatti in the goal square happily accepts it and just toe pokes it through from a metre out.
I reckon I would have had a shot if I was Parker, but hey, I'm not a team player like he is.
That's right. He's certainly not that sort of player at all. Once the loose player is there, he had no second thoughts whatsoever and giving it over the top.
He had 3 handballs and a goal assist, so that's pretty impressive in a short passage of play like that.
Yeah, and he's run hard from half back to keep pace with the ball basically all the way down the field. And
hats off to Monaghan. He ran from right down the back down to the forward line. So once again, these big players running in these conditions at the end of the game or towards the end of the game is a great testament to how fit they are, which has been an issue with Tiwi over the years. We know the fitness hasn't always been their strong point, but they're very, very fit and very strong at the moment.
So Broadbent wins the hit out this time, but Calvin for Wanderers first there just couldn't pick it up. Anthony Munkara in the middle, breaks away, gets away from the tackler, has a bounce, now delivers towards half forward. That's just fallen short, tied it up nicely in the back half by Austin, but his kick was smothered, falls to...
Wasn't that far away.
No, Edward Turner it was, and was a long kick, but just offline, but Mitch Taylor brings it back into play. Maraka out on the lead, spilt the mark that time, but recovers and gets the kick inboard, although the boundary umpire says that he stepped over the line. So it'll be a boundary throw in at half forward for Tiwi on that outer side of the ground. So far in the quarter, Tiwi have added 3 goals and Wanderers just a couple of behinds.
Yes, doing what they do well, Tiwi here, and once again, it's that sort of game where they've done what they need to do to win this game, their stars have sort of drifted in out of the game, but Parker's been the one that's kept it in it most of the time.
So it falls to Turner. Turner inside forward 50. Kim Cantilla again picks it up between his legs, but this time he's stopped in his tracks.
He's loving the fact that no one's tagging him today, so he generally gets tagged, but he's not being tagged at all today, so he's enjoying that.
Free kick coming back here to Horrigan for Wanderers. He's been pretty solid in the back half as well.
Carrying an injury on his looks like his
shin or calf, isn't it? Yeah. So he delivers that one nicely.
Great kick.
And the mark taken by Roberts. Gives it off to Motlop. Motlop kicks long down the wing. Picked up there by Crofts, but he swung around, got his hand pass out. Fijo picks it up, goes to Austin Smith, who gives by hand. It comes back to Crofts eventually. He gives the little one out wide, and now Maraka delivers to Crofts, who kept running forward, and that's a nice passage of play from Wanderers. Good build-up.
Very good build-up. They just got to watch this next kick.
Look inboard.
Just got it.
Yeah, Brenton Motlop it is. Who
see
takes
what he can do. The experienced Warhouse, Brenton Motlop. He's looking forward. He can't kick that far.
No, but Hams has tried to run off from the mark, and the umpires said you were there, and so you have to stay.
Yeah.
So
they do the stand thing these days. Stand.
Yep. Chips out wide to Horrigan, and he's got Calvin, but just chipping in was Turner.
It's a nice easy
intercept mark, and
too easy.
Kicks it back out the other side, but that's going to miss the target as well, and straight into the arms of Kaylee Roberts.
And Roberts has had 2 or 3 kicks in 3 minutes.
Went to give to Horrigan, but picked it up on the bounce, and
probably like to do that one again if he had a chance.
Motlop again. This kick's a better one and finds Austin Smith forward of the ball. So, but they're still outside of their forward 50, and
he's a rover, Austin Smith, so he's going to have a struggle to get. He looks for a short pass.
Yeah, out wide, and Maraka it is who's taken that mark again for Wanderers out in front of the scoreboard on the outer side of the ground. He's looking to centre the ball, but there's plenty of Tiwi players. Anthony Mankara is one of those, got his hands to it.
It was 3-on-1 then, Stu, so you got to look where you're kicking the ball. There's no point kicking it like that. Unfortunately, just going to rebound.
So Mankara again goes straight across the goal into the goal square to a 2-on-2, but
should be able to punish him here if they can get the ball turned back.
That's right. They're working hard defensively down there, the Wanderers forwards, as Kane Cox
great tackle
throws his weight around, but he's in there again, gets a tap over the top. Well, it spills now to Jones Cabillo, but Parker's in there again, gets the hand pass out, and that allows Tiwi to get a clearing kick away. Bedford comes in, he's got some front-on contact in the marking contest there, and Maraka's hurt himself in taking part in that contest as well. But Bedford swings the ball quickly to the near side of the ground as it's controlled here by Matthew Cantilla.
Great kick forward to Cantilla. Dropped it. Sitter.
Turner spilled it, but still got plenty of time, and he's got Purantatameri on the outside.
Anywhere near him. Purantatameri must have had 30 metres on his opposition.
He thought about going on, but just decided to slow things down in the end. And
I reckon he probably could have gone because there was no one within Kiwi.
Plays on now, and Parker's down there, and it just spilled through his hands that time, but that ground level picked up by Kim Cantilla. He hand passes backwards. Dwayne Keranua swings around on the right boot now, kicks towards goal, but just misses to the left-hand side. So,
and that forward passage down there with Wanderers, and they turned it back over the two. That's a pride thing. You don't want that to happen. You got to make sure you get the ball down the other end. Wanderers defenders here are just walking around. They need to sort of keep in this game. They don't want to be blown out of the water, that's for sure. It's only 16 minutes in this last quarter.
But Parker there still going it as hard as it was the first bounce, and chasing and running. It's been a terrific game by him. That's him laying the tackle again as Calvin gets it forward. And
he's run 15 metres off the pack and laid a tackle.
Just enough to affect the kick, and Carlson Cantilla took the intercept, and Anthony Mankara, who's doing some work down back at the moment, chips across to McLean. McLean drives it down. That's a beautiful kick. Falls into the lap of Cooper. He's off and running with the bounce. Hand passes forward to Matthew Cantilla. Just shows the ball and works his way between a couple of opponents. Kicks long to half forward, but Mitch Taylor, standing strong again, takes the intercept mark and looks to go to the outer side of the ground where Brenton Motlop's made some space.
And had plenty of ball in this last quarter, Brenton Motlop.
So the ball just slips out of his hand and now hooks around the corner, puts Austin Smith under some pressure, but he takes a nice mark, kicks inboard to Big Daniel Fuller, who takes the mark just at the front edge of the centre square for Wanderers. He's got Calvin out wide on this side, but decides to go to Wilkes on the other side instead. Wilkes takes the mark. He's wandered off a bit. Hasn't been called to play on, I don't think, but gets a hand pass inboard now. It's a high kick going inside forward 50 for Wanderers. Bounces in no man's land, really. Calvin picks up, gets a hand pass over the top, and swinging round on the left. The kick goes into the goal square. Two Wanderers players spoiled each other then, I think, going for the ball, and Tiwi are going to tidy up and bring it away as it goes over the head of Cooper, and it's just chopped off in defence by Crofts. Crofts delivers inboard to
late
Fuller. It was late contact, but all good. Fuller kicks high inside forward 50, couple of leapers at the ball. It slips over the top. Brenton Motlop's there. It's toe poked off the ground by Ham straight over the boundary line. Wanderers players calling for a deliberate free kick, but that's not the way the umpire's seen it, and it's going to be a throw in.
I've seen them call for less, but it would be a tough call. So once again, Wanderers a chance to get another one up on the board. Let's hope they can get their third bit of reward for effort. They've gone hard in this quarter.
So just the ball's found its way over the boundary fence, so just got to be retrieved. It's coming back now, so boundary throw in about 5 metres around from the behind post in Wanderers attacking area.
You're watching the TIO NTFL season here at Tracy Village with the two big sides between these two sides, Ashton Holmes and was able to defend the ball as Wanderers go forward again.
Yeah, it's Maraka again. It's kicked it right to the goal line, but Tiwi got plenty of players back there as Hams tidies up and swings it out wide, finds Cooper busy again. He's off and running. He loves to do this. He has a bounce. Hand passes inboard to Pickett. Pickett goes back over the top to Cooper. Cooper kept running, gives by hand, puts Dunn under some pressure, but had enough time to get it back to Cooper. Cooper's still running. It gets it to Thompson. Oh, flipped over the head by Bedford and falls into the lap of Parker. This time he'll have a shot for goal, but he's a bit further out and he's just swung it too far to the left. But again, a bit of magic in the build-up there. Cooper kept giving and getting, and hand passing and running was fantastic.
Exciting players, aren't they, when they get going like that? Very difficult to stop. Not much you can do. You just got to try and chase them as hard as you can.
So Matthew Motlop bouncing around the outer side of the ground, gives back to Bake on the inside. Now Brenton Motlop chips the kick forward, just gave that one a bit too much air, and that allowed the Tiwi defenders to close in and just force it to the ground as it's picked up by Turner. Turner chips in short out wide, and the mark taken, and Tiwi building around the outer side of the ground again. Apatamini just thumped it forward to no one in particular. Maraka tidies up for Wanderers, and now the kick inboard finds big Fuller. Fuller's got a couple of options inboard. One of them is Totham, and he goes short to Totham in the centre of the ground. Totham has a runner from behind.
Massive amount of kicks today. He's had terrific purchase on the footy.
Jones Cabillo, who ran from the back half to receive that, kicks long towards half forward, and Piercy, who's been really impressive in these last three quarters, out on the long lead, takes a mark, kicks inside 50, but Hams has read it again, as he often does, and chips across to McLean, as he often does, and McLean to Parker, who's
always
once
does.
Again everywhere, running everywhere. And,
Hams, McLean, Parker, they're just they're the names that we've been calling all day, Stu.
They certainly are, as Parker comes out here and finds Pickett out on a long lead, out on the wing. And
he's been quiet today, Pickett, so he's let the others do his talking for him.
Just swings around on the left, kicks long towards half forward. Horrigan in front, gets a fist to it, gets it down to Maraka, who sweeps a hand pass. Or again, some inventive play, gets it to Totham, who finds Austin Smith. And Smith chips inboard, looking for Big Fuller. Fuller takes the mark, thought about hand passing, but changed his mind and goes by foot instead. And the pass is good to Fijo, who spilt the mark and then hand passed it back to Fuller, who spilt it as well, but had time to recover, and now kicks down towards half forward. No mark taken out on the lead, and Michael Dunn tidies up with the hand pass to Thompson. Thompson gives and no, it's Carlson Cantilla, in fact, gives and gets, and then delivers to Thompson, who's moved forward to the play. He's at centre half forward now, sweeps a long hand pass over the top. It's a raffle here for the Tiwi players.
Turned the wrong way.
Puran Tarameri swings around on the left. Mitch Taylor working good back, enough. But it's I think it's missed to the right anyway. He
turned inboard instead of outboard.
Yeah,
he would have got that goal pretty straightforward. But once again, exciting play from Tiwi, coming off the back line, running almost coast to coast.
Yeah, exactly. And they've scored 3 goals this quarter, but they scored those 3 goals in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the quarter. So Wanderers again have managed to hold them up for most of the quarter, and so that's even though it's a heavy loss and probably puts paid to their finals aspirations, it's a positive to take out of the game that they've just been able to stop the onslaught rate basically in the last 3 quarters.
And they'll be looking for that as they build this team into the future. They can fight games out like this and not get blown totally away.
So Sinclair at half back for Wanderers, chips out wide and finds Horrigan out there. Horrigan out at half back, taking plenty of time, looking for a leading player. Calvin makes the lead, but chips it over the top, looking for Sinclair instead. Goes over his head, but he runs onto it now. Hand passes inboard to Austin Smith. Smith goes short, looking for Calvin, who picks it up on the bounce now. Hand passes back inboard to Smith. Smith thumps it long towards half forward. There's a 2-on-1 here for
great mark.
Wanderers, as the mark's taken by Ben Charles out at half forward. He goes short. That kick's good, but just slips through the hand as the siren goes to end the game. And it was one which Tiwi got out of the blocks and opened up a big lead and just chipped away after that, and Wanderers just had to fight and claw, and they did that for most of the game and stopped the onslaught, as we said.
Yeah, they did. Look, it's 18-12-90 to 2-7-19, so that is a big win to Tiwi, and congratulations to them and to the coaching panel down there with Paddy Bowden at the helm. But Aaron Motlop at Wanderers would be fairly happy with the fact that they didn't get totally blown away. It was that first quarter that really cost them, and in spurts towards the end of each quarter. But they're building something well, but this is an exciting time for Tiwi. Not to take anything away from them, they'll be going deep into the finals. I had a few best players amongst their group. There were plenty of them, but obviously the standout I thought was Parker today.
Yep.
He best on ground by far. He was in everything. Great possession getter, but also very good with his disposal. I also had Cooper in there, Cantilla, and Harms, who's always doing along the back line. And for the opposition, with Wanderers, I had Austin, Fejo, PC and Marake in there with Totham as well. So.
Yeah, so that's right. Major goal kickers, Kim Cantilla kicked 4, Dwayne Kiranua 2, Blake Puruntatameri 2, and Josh Maraka kicked Wanderers 2 goals. So, yeah, I think you were right. But, yeah, some positives for both sides. But that win for Tiwi, really important, and now puts them equal with Nightcliff on points up in second place on the ladder, with Waratah still to play tomorrow. Yeah,
and I've got a little bit of interest in Nightcliff, so that's interesting. But, yeah, they've done it all themselves today, and congratulations to them. So we'll watch out for the next coverage going forward for the down at Palmerston there for the next game coming up, and we'll see you next time we're down here at Tracy Village.